This morning, a sealed envelope marked "Confidential" landed on a desk at the D.C. federal courthouse, 68 pages inside. And those 68 pages may be enough to end the career of the man currently running the FBI. Brian Driscoll spent 25 years inside that agency. Decorated, respected. He worked some of the hardest cases in FBI history. And when he walked that file into the courthouse, he knew exactly what he was doing. Because this isn't about rumors or leaks or anonymous tips. This is Kash Patel, in his own words, caught saying the exact opposite of what he swore to the public. I'm going to walk you through the whole thing, and I'm saving the most important part for the end, something that hasn't been reported anywhere yet. Let's go back to February 2025. Patel gets confirmed as FBI director by a single vote, 51 to 49, closest confirmation in FBI history. He walks up to the podium, raises his right hand, takes the oath, and his first public statement? "I am not partisan. Nobody will be removed from this agency for political reasons." Democrats weren't buying it. Republicans clapped. The press wrote it down. But here's what nobody saw coming. Before Patel even sat down at that director's desk, the White House transition team had already been meeting privately with senior FBI officials. And the questions they were asking had nothing to do with qualifications or job performance. They were asking one thing: did you work on Trump-related investigations? Did you have any role in January 6? Were you involved in the Mar-a-Lago search? If the answer was yes, your name went on a list. That list went to the White House. Then it landed on Patel's desk. This wasn't officially acknowledged by anyone in power, but my sources confirmed it. And months later, it became evidence inside a 6-8-page federal lawsuit. Now here's where it gets personal. August 2025. FBI headquarters. Driscoll walks in for a meeting with Patel. He enters the room alone. The door closes. Patel is sitting across from him. Two lawyers beside him. A black folder on the table. And then Patel says it out loud. He tells Driscoll directly, "My superiors ordered me to let go of everyone connected to the Trump investigations. I can't stop this. To keep my own position, I have to remove you too." Driscoll had spent 25 years building this institution. And the man sitting across from him, the same man who had publicly promised no political retaliation, was now explaining, behind a closed door, that the retaliation had already been decided from above. That conversation is documented in the court file, verbatim, page by page, and Driscoll wasn't the only one. March 2025. The head of the New York field office gets a call from headquarters. He's told to hand over a full list of agents who worked on January 6 cases. He refuses. Within 48 hours, he's out. No statement, no reason given, just gone. April through July, 2025. Atlanta's field director, removed. New York's acting director, pushed out. 6 agents from the Miami office, suspended in a single week. Agents from New Orleans, quietly erased from the roster. Every single one of them had some connection to the Mar-a-Lago search or the January 6 investigation. A reporter from NBC described it in August 2025 as something the FBI had never seen before. A systematic and widespread purge with no precedent in the agency's history. Then came the single worst day. Brian Driscoll, Stephen Jensen, Spencer Evans, 3 men with a combined 60 years inside the FBI. All 3 fired on the same day, at the same time. Jensen had worked January 6 cases. MAGA-aligned accounts on social media had been targeting him for months. Patel and his aide Dan Bonino reportedly agreed they were burning too much political capital defending him. So they let social media pressure make the call. Jensen was gone. Evans had managed the Human Resources Division during COVID. A former agent with a grudge started flooding Bonino's inbox with complaints about him. Within 72 hours, Evans was finished. Driscoll's situation was different. Before Patel took over, Driscoll had actively blocked a plan to mass fire thousands of FBI agents. That move had made the White House uncomfortable. Patel remembered it. And behind that closed door, he made sure Driscoll knew it. The file documents 34 names in total, 34 FBI executives and senior agents, all gone, all connected to the same thread. September 2025. Federal Courthouse, Washington, D.C. Attorney Mark Zaid walks in carrying that black binder. He sets it on the table, looks at the judge, and says clearly, Kash Patel lied under oath during his Senate confirmation hearing. The room went quiet, then loud. Cameras turned. Reporters started writing. Zaid kept going. He said Patel either lied to the Senate or he's now admitting he followed illegal orders from the White House and the Attorney General's office. Either way, that's a federal offense. Then he opened the file to page 23 and read it out loud. Director Patel said, during the meeting, that his superiors had ordered him to remove everyone connected to the Trump investigations. That to protect his own position, he had to end theirs. Then page 41, Patel's signature. On an administrative document approving the removal list. This wasn't someone's version of events. This was a signed document sitting inside federal court records. A Democratic senator on the Judiciary Committee immediately called it what it was, perjury. CNN legal analysts went on air explaining how a direct contradiction between sworn Senate testimony and a documented private admission carries serious federal consequences, including removal from office. Patel's legal team was at the table the whole time. Not one of them said a word. The judge asked if Director Patel wanted to respond to the document. His lead attorney stood up and said one sentence, "My client will exercise his constitutional rights at this time. The Fifth Amendment, the right to stay silent." Zaid turned toward the press section. He leaned into the microphone and said this, "An innocent person denies the accusation. A guilty person stays quiet. My client Brian Driscoll is sitting in this room right now. He told you everything. The other side is exercising their rights." Then he added, "In law, an unanswered claim carries more weight than a denied one." November 2025. The FBI Agents Association released a formal statement. 3 words, "He broke the law." They went on to say Patel had created operational chaos, launched a campaign of targeted retaliation, and made the American people measurably less safe. Around the same time, a leaked internal assessment written by both active and retired FBI agents described the agency in 2 words, rudderless ship. Patel said nothing, but the file didn't answer everything. The last 8 pages contain a series of codes placed next to specific names. These codes have not been made public. Here's what my sources have been able to piece together. Code W appears beside 12 names. It reportedly indicates White House-connected protection. These individuals weren't fired. They were quietly transferred to where nobody seems to know yet. Code B appears beside 9 names. It's described internally as a referral originating from the Attorney General's office, which would mean the Justice Department had a direct hand in deciding who stayed and who went. Code T appears beside just 3 names. And even my sources don't have clarity on what it means or who those people are. Federal prosecutors are actively working to decode all 3. If they get there, if the names behind W, B, and T end up in a courtroom, this case doesn't stop with Patel. It reaches further up. Attorney Zaid made that clear. He said Driscoll knows every meeting, every phone call, every directive. What Patel said, he told the court, is only the opening chapter. The next part is heavier. That next part is expected to surface at the February 2026 hearing. So here's where things actually stand, based on what's documented in federal court records. Not opinion, not theory. Patel swore under oath that no one would be fired for political reasons. Then he privately told Brian Driscoll the opposite. That statement is recorded word for word in a 6-8-page court filing. 34 FBI officials were removed between March and August 2025, all connected to Trump-related investigations, all documented, all tied to a list bearing Patel's signature. When that signature was shown in open court, Patel's lawyers invoked the Fifth Amendment. The FBI Agents Association formally stated the agency, and by extension the public, is less safe. And according to Zaid, there are 24 more names in that file, connected to the White House, the Justice Department, and a third source that hasn't been identified yet. The February 2026 hearing is the next major date to watch. Driscoll's full testimony, the administrative document with Patel's signature, and whatever is behind those codes. 68 pages was Chapter 1. Chapter 2 is already being written.